Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bass Headingley for what promises to be the most important Stonesbridge Championship game of the year so far that Leeds have played. And of course, Wigan will be looking for 2 points today to consolidate their position at the top of the table. I have a feeling that if Wigan win this game this afternoon, the championship is as good as home and dry. And of course, Leeds, if they lose today, that'll be the end of their championship hopes. But Leeds could help themselves as well as Castleton and St Helens by putting one over on Wigan. Wigan not have the best record at Headingley in the last few years, although they've won there in the last couple of visits. And Leeds, of course, earlier on this season, that 19-0 defeat of Wigan on their home territory at Central Park. Well, both sides come in with changed sides. Well, Leeds, they stick to the same side as last week, and the surprise there is that Gary Devote is included despite his impending transfer to Featherstone Rovers. He wants the weekend to think about it. But Wigan, they lack three regulars: Steve Hampson, Martin Afire and Kelvin Skirrett. And of course, they have long-term injury victor in Andy Goodway. Andy Goodway here this afternoon, I've seen him. The Leeds just coming out onto the field now, led by Ellery Hanley. This is his first game against his former team. He missed the game at Central Park with a shoulder injury. So I'll run through the teams for you now. For Leeds, Marvin Edwards is at full-back, Carl Gibson, David Creaser, Craig Innes and John Bentley at the three-quarters. Gary Schofield and Bobby Gould in the half-backs. And I feel how they get on top of the Wigan pair. Edwards and Gregory could be a big theme featured of how this game goes at the end. Cavalier, Colin Maskell and Sean Wayne are the front three. Paul Dixon, Gary Devote and Ellery Hanley make up the pack. David Erdon and Paul Anderson. The substitutes. Paul Anderson had a storm in the second half display when he came on last week against Widnes, and he certainly ruffled a few of the Widnes pack's feathers. Oh, for Wigan, Joe Lydon is at full-back. David Myers, Dean Bell, Gene Miles, Fran Obotica, three-quarters. Sean Edwards and Andy Gregory is ever at half-back. Ian Lucas is back after injury. Martin Dermott, Andy Platt is in the front row. Dennis Betts, Neil Cowitt, Billy McGinty make up the pack. Sam Panapa and Philip Clark, rest of the pack. The referee is Mr Robin Whitfield of Widnes. And the two captains just coming up to shake hands, no strangers to each other, as Ellery Hanley and Dean Bell have shared in all of Wigan's great years at the Central Park. And Wigan no mascot today. Leeds youngster day this afternoon. It's a big day for him. He just tosses up the coin. And Leeds look to be playing from left to right, which is not the way they like to play. They always like to play down towards the new scoreboard end. And Halliday just geeing his men up for the start of this very important game. And if Leeds play anything like they did last week, and Wigan play anything like we know they can, then the game will be an absolute cracker. Gary Schofield about to get the game underway. There's a tremendous atmosphere here, a huge crowd, all the seats sold this afternoon, which is the first time I've seen that happen at Headingley since they put the new seats in the paddock. Gene Miles, big Australian from Brisbane Broncos, straight in at Ellery Hanley there, and Hanley up quickly. And Miles really coming into form. Betts. Immediately Leeds penalised, and one or two people in there. High tackle on Betts from Sean Wayne. And there's certainly a feeling of needle in these two games. And the referee stopping the clock. And the last two games that Robin Whitfield has refereed of the Headingley club, and this is the first penalty he's given against Leeds. So the referee bringing both teams together, which is most unusual. Usually just the captains are the ones who are brought together. Gary Schofield and Sean Wayne just been told to come along. And the two wingers standing out of the melee. Too much at stake to let this game develop into a mass brawl. And so the penalty goes to Wigan, and Joe Lydon it is who look to find touch. Finds touch right on halfway. Andy Platt now. Runs straight into Sean Wayne. Certainly no quarter being asked or given in these opening minutes. Neil Cowie. Cowie's put that ball down. It's gone backwards, says Mr. Whitfield. Andy Gregory unceremoniously dumped to the floor by Colin Maskill. That's a good tackle there from the Leeds hooker. Edwards. Cowie again, just taking play forward. Signing from Rochdale Hornets, Neil Cowie. Making his mark to the Central Park club. And Wigan a bit at 6s and 7s there, Billy McGinty. Another newcomer this season, Sam from Wellington. He just slips at the feet of Colin Maskill. Dennis Betts. Dennis Betts has brought the first line of defence. That's good running and a good tackle, bringing him down. Gregory. That's back for Joe Lydon. He'll put the kick up. That's a high one. All the Wigan players except Lydon, of course, offside. Tackle there. That'll be the turnover. So Holiday Hanley will play this ball and Leeds will have their first look at possession. Just inside their own half, Paul Dixon trying to work things away from the 22. Schofield bringing Devotee on. It's a good tackle there from Cavalier from Platt and Betts. Schofield. Quick charge down there and that'll be 6 more tackles. Billy McGinty charging, Gary Schofield's kick down. Sean Wayne. Of course, Sean Wayne, eager to impress against his former club. Dixon couldn't get the ball away there. Maskill in support. That kick finds touch. Just outside the Wigan 22, so with the first scrum of the game, it'll be head and ball to the Riverside from Central Park. And both sets of forwards just testing each other out at this early stage of the game. Myers coming inside. Wigan's leading try scorer this time, David Myers. Smite now on the transfer list with the signing of Martin Fire back in the side due to a Fire's injury. Miles has put Lydon there, coming inside. David Creaser bringing him down. Great tackle there from the Leeds centre. McGinty, much improved player since he went to Central Park. It's amazing how these players seem to improve when they go to top clubs. Not that Warrington is not a top club, but seems to be something special about Leeds and Wigan. Lucas. Gregory switching play. It's Edwards through the gap. Edwards puts the kick in. And that finds touch inside the Leeds 22. So Leeds will have heading ball at this scrum. Somebody else out to make a big mark today, Bobby Goulding. Schofield. Devotee there, reaching for that ball and taking it well, and it's been pulled out now, and here come Wigan on the attack with a chance. And Edwards and Schofield having to wrap up Dennis Betts. The penalty there awarded against Gary Schofield, interfering at the play of the ball. So Dean Bell, I think we're going to be probably take the kick at goal. So Robotica, and this is a position from which he likes to kick. One of the most reliable goal kickers in the rugby league from Robotica. Robotica then nicely settled the ball down, just back to the 22. Important kick for it would put Wigan 2 points to 0 in the lead. And the roar from the crowd tells you that's successful. Been playing about 7 minutes. Schofield then restarts the game. The deep kick, which is Dennis Betts will run out. And Leeds will be keen to keep Wigan pressed down in this 22, and Wigan will strive to get over the advantage line and fling that ball away. Billy McGinty. Ian Lucas. Moving straight at Cavalier there, and then the 3 men bringing him down. Cowie, usually a prop in at second row this afternoon. Andy Platt. Worked tremendously hard in the summer. Andy Platt increased his top body weight, so strenuous working on the weights. Gregory, that's back for Lydon. Lydon managing to get the kick in despite the attentions of Schofield and holding Edwards now. Morgan Edwards has been troubled with a shoulder injury all week, past fit to play yesterday morning. Bentley coming in field. Scored a tremendous 75-yard try at Central Park, right down the middle of the field. Hanley. Lock back there, great tackle from Billy McGinty on the lead skipper. And Wigan caught offside. So Leeds get their first penalty of the afternoon. Schofield's kick finds touch. And puts Leeds on the attack just outside the Wigan 22. Gibson will run it in himself. Now looking for a way through, Carl Gibson. Finds Neil Cowie. Such there, Golding and Schofield. Edwards coming up quickly there, trying to cut off Leeds supply to Dixon running out wide. Did that very successfully against St Helens. Forced George Mann to run back inside in the Challenge Cup. Third round. That's why Wigan are in the semi-final in the fortnight against Bradford Northern. Maskell goes from acting half, runs at Edwards. Golding running around there with Gary Devoto. A long ball out to Creason. Creason in a bit of space, kicks forward. Offside there against Franel Botica. Lydon couldn't take the ball, and ball pumping off Franel Botica, so Leeds will be on the attack once again. Golding will have a kick at goal. And Golding kicked tremendously well last week against Widnes. Not the regular goal kicker at Leeds this season, that was Simon Irving, until he lost form and is currently injured after playing in the Alliance side for the last few weeks. Francis Maloney on with the send. It's an important kick this for Leeds to draw level. And Wigan continuing that tremendous run which has seen them reach Wembley 4 years in succession. Holding just pulls that wide. And Gregory just manages to get out from behind his own line. And that's great tackling from Leeds now. And this is the sort of stuff that wins these sort of matches. Bobby Golding just policing at the back of the thing there, stopping David Myers. Andy Platt. And Wigan have used 4 tackles up. They've got 12 metres from their own line. Gregory now will put the kick in early. And Edwards will scurry across. That ball Sets up lovely for him there, and a counter-attack now from Leeds as here comes Marvin Edwards up to halfway. Sean Edwards bringing him down right on the halfway line. Gibson straightening up now. The Wigan tackling machine, relentless this afternoon. Tremendous tackling. Sean Wayne. Good strong running. Andy Platt having to do all he could to hold on there. Schofield's kick finds touch. Playing 12 minutes now and the score still standing at Leeds 0, Wigan 2. Just that penalty to Fernando Botico, and Gary Schofield was adjudged to have interfered at the play of the ball. Andy Gregory just bringing it ball round, referee Whitfield. And bringing David Myers in. Dean Bell. Oh, and he's run there past Ellery Hanley, and Bell's coming away, and Edwards has got Miles inside him, and Edwards inside him. And a great tackle there from the Leeds captain, Gary Schofield, or former Leeds captain, should I say. And I think Gary Schofield is going to get a sin bin in now for the professional foul, and Leeds could well do without this. Robin Whitfield gives the penalty, reaches in his pocket, and that's always a sign. A yellow card for Gary Schofield. The third Wigan penalty and another kick at goal for Fernando Botico, and Leeds have to perform now for 10 minutes without their star man Gary Schofield. And Wigan will no doubt take full advantage of Gary Schofield's absence. Botico then. It's the 22-metre line where the ball is. And just to the left of the uprights. And that's safely through, so that's another penalty to Botico. Wigan going 4 points to 0 in the lead. David Irving coming on for Gary Devotee. Allowing that ball to go around him, and leads it up quickly. Enison Bentley quickly. And Leeds again caught offside there at the play of the ball, and all the pressure there on Wigan accounts for nothing. Takes a quick tap, goes himself, makes the 10 metres. Lucas. Andy Platt, Hanley there, good tackling from Hanley. Edwards. Dean Bell. David Pearson and Dean Bell were teammates when Leeds won the John Player trophies. It was then in 1984, co-centres. Dowie. Spinning out of the Sean Wayne tackle. Betts now. Wigan have got men to spare. Miles is through the gap. It's back inside. Edwards has... The lead stretched there in the 6th tackle. Opened up twice there by Bell and Miles. Kicks through there. Marvin Edwards takes it dead, so that'll be a drop out from under the post. In fact, the referee's given a penalty for offside against David Myers. That'll assist Leeds to clear their lines. Leeds will have been well aware how they've been caught wide open there by the two centres cutting through just infield in the centre position. Sean Wayne now. Golding. Cavalier will have a drive. And Bobby Golding there, that's a great dive on a loose ball under the pressure there from Bobby Golding. What a man. Dixon. And he's giving it away to Botica, and Miles is away now. Creases after him. It's inside for Edwards, and Carl Gibson coming back. Wrapping him up as Leeds again under pressure. So Leeds are going to be penalised again here, I feel. Sean Edwards and Botica again will have a kick at goal. So Leeds conceded 5 penalties already this half. And desperation stakes as far as Leeds are concerned. Botica is 10 metres in from touch. Right on the 22. Certainly we're going to well fired up for this afternoon. Two tremendous senders in Miles and Bell, giving Leeds a run around this afternoon. Wigan had most of the territorial advantage in this opening 20 minutes or so. Botica again, kicks a goal, and that's making Leeds pay dearly for these altercations. Golding. Well, they're only just allowing that to hit his legs. Myers almost through there. Andy Platt. Gregory. Missing out Betts. Edwards finds Miles again. Betts. Good tackle there from David Hurren. On a substitute for Devoto. Oh, and Platt there, and Wigan again opening Leeds up. In fact, that's McGinty, looks very like Andy Platt. Gregory knocks that ball back. Gibson takes it, and it's Betts is offside, Miles offside despite his protestations. Must have been a good 10 metres offside there, Dennis Betts. So Leeds have got the penalties, 4 to Wigan's 5, but their penalties have virtually all been down in their own 22, because that's where Wigan have kept them for most of this first half. David Creaser kicks up towards commentary position. Unfortunately for the bevy of cameramen up here today, there's more cameras in Dixon's shot window up here today. And fortunately that missed any of them. Yeah, they're in now. Innes had a running chance this afternoon and soon wrapped up when he does. Sean Wayne almost though. Tackle the second time. Dixon looking for support. Aaron now, what can he do? It's a lovely ball out to Creaser. Creaser puts Edwards, and Edwards just couldn't take that ball. Leeds back in possession. Aaron Cavalier looks to straighten up. We're up to the last tackle now, and Leeds have come 50 yards upfield, and Golding will kick that and make sure that goes in the touch. 10 metres from the Wigan line. That's a good kick there from young Bobby Golding. Schofield waiting to come back on as Wigan take their third scrum of the afternoon. Dean Bell. The Leeds will need to tighten up in that centre area to stop Bell and Miles from controlling this game out wide. Cowie. Mallory Hanley again, shirking nothing on defence this afternoon, the former Wigan captain. Miles. Out to Myers, and Bentley has him and brings him down. The Leeds drifting defence coming across there, sliding across the field. Platt's through a gap in the middle, and that's good running from Andy Platt. Betts now, and he's got Edwards with him. It Leeds Golding, Bentley coming in from the wing to wrap him up. And up to the last tackle, and again Wigan have come 75 yards with a chip across there. Carl Gibson kicks it dead. So Leeds will be dropping out from under their own post. Gary Schofield back on the field, of course, now, having made that tackle. And drop out is for Dean Bell. Inside the Leeds 22 again, Wigan. 5 tackles to go. Pressure all the time. Miles bumping off Main. That's Myers. That's going to be a try in the corner. That's a try to Myers. A lovely pass there from Miles. Just took the play the other way. Well, Leeds certainly going to have to get a grip of this game if they're to get anything as far as the Championship is concerned this afternoon. Caught there. Lovely ball there from Gene Miles, just catching Leeds' strength, push men off, and then just out there on the wing, coming up in support, David Myers. Substitute coming on, Philip Clark for Neil Cowie. Golding kicks off. Gregory Betts. Dermot going from that tin half-back. Leeds spotting that, moving across quickly. Well, that's good handling there, and then outside Botica, Gibson's got him, and the ball comes. And Leeds will take the scrum. The scrum will form directly under Argantry. Colin Maskill just holding up until Dave Evans ready to pack down. It's out to Leeds, and Gary Schofield brings in his on a run. Creaser now making the extra man. Goes himself, but only as far as Gene Miles. And he's had a run from action half-back. What's the gap? Higgins has certainly know that he's been in the game this afternoon. Relentless Wigan tackling machine. Hanley rocked back there in the tackle. Lucas interfering at the play. The ball referee says it's okay. Schofield again. Kicking for touch. And Gary Schofield is trying to cheese men up there. But so far they've made no pressure whatsoever on this relentless Wigan tackling. Tremendous tackle in the middle of the field. Leeds in ones and twos running up the centre of the field and making no ground whatsoever. Relying on Schofield and Goulding's kicking to get them position. Myers comes inside again. Schofield and Hanley. Edwards now. Bell. Lydon. Men in support all the time for Wigan. Edwards that time. Lydon. Good tackle from Innes. Able to offload that ball to a man just on his shoulder. William McGinty. Wigan coped admirably with the loss of Ellery Hanley and Kevin Iroh this season, two world-class players. They still look like relentlessly marching forward. Gregory, Edwards, Miles and Lydon, Bell. And again managing to get that ball away, and Betts is in support. It's good play from Wigan again. Edwards, wrapped up by Goulding. Gregory. McGinty again, Gregory back in support, Botica now. Stepping in the middle of the field, Philip Clark. Got the full weight of Paul Dixon's tackle. Sandy Gregory. Puts a kick in, that'll go too far, it'll go dead, and Leeds will tap on the 22. Half an hour gone now. Leeds 0, Wigan 10. John Bentley has a run in the middle of the field, looking for a way through, but there's no way through this Wigan defence for Leeds so far this afternoon. Holding, Schofield. It's an out Wayne Innes. Oh, and Innes is away. That's the first time Innes has got through. And a man in support, who else but Gary Schofield. Nobody there in support of Gary Schofield to carry on that break. And Schofield having to take the tackle. And he's backed up superbly last week against Widnes. Confidence football. Nobody there that time for Schofield. Lovely break there from Innes. Penalty to Leeds. Whipping the ball. David Keith will kick for touch. It's touch just inside the Wigan half. Cavalier knocks on immediately there from the tap. Gregory attempting to feed his own feet, and the packet spun round. And then the referee says he's not happy with where the ball went in the scrum. That's thrown anywhere and picked up by Botica. And Schofield's up quickly, and Dixon coming in. Tackling Wigan deep in the 22. And Clark trying to get away from Gary Schofield. Bell, Andy Platt. Miss Betts. There's certainly no love lost between Sean Wayne and Dennis Betts. Out to Myers on the line. And up to the last tackle now, and Leeds have done well to contain Wigan down here. Lydon will kick. Spins it upfield, all the Wigan players are downtown. Edwards takes it under no pressure whatsoever and brings it away. Stepping, trying to go inside. Philip Clark and Miles just wrestling him to the ground. Gibson. Innis there, picking up that pass. Bentley goes from acting half, finds Innis in support. Hanley now, Schofield with him. Knows himself up the middle, trying to get through. Golden looks the kick, feigns the kick, finds Creaser with a long ball. Creaser's through, that's a great run from David Creaser. He's got men in support now, Creaser. Carl Gibson, oh, and he's well wrapped up there by Butterker. Almost settled as soon as he got that ball. The Leeds on the attack now, hoping to put something together just before half-time. Golden missing out Schofield and finding Innis with a long ball. The Wigan defence coming across, Innis goes himself. Golden. Cavalier now, slipping that ball, Hanley. And Wigan in possession with Dennis Betts. That was good play from Leeds. That's the best we've seen from Leeds this afternoon. And still not good enough to crack this Wigan defence. Butterker trying to make ground across the field, making no impression whatsoever. Andy Platt there, breaking through David Hurren. Bell. Oh, lovely ball there to Joe Lydon. Joe Lydon stepping inside of Bobby Golding. Philip Clark now. Clark's going for the corner and he's going to score the try. Clark in at the corner. A try out of nothing again from Widnes. Leaving Leeds cover for dead on that far side. Lovely touchline run there. The ball was made when Joe Lydon was put through a gap superbly. Golding kicks off. Clark again. And every Wigan player seems to know where every other Wigan player is on the park. Whenever there's a ball to be slipped, it's always to the right man at the right time. That's tremendous teamwork been built up over a number of years, and players just eased and slipped in with ease when they're purchased, as in Vic McGinty and Cowie. And Philip Clark, a good youngster. Father, of course, Colin, played and coached Wigan for many years. Edwards, Miles. Whitfield says that ball came off a Leeds player. The crowd don't like it. Whitfield saying that the touch judge has told him that's whose head and ball it is. And that's whose head and ball it is, certainly. And it's out now. Miles in the middle of the field looking for the run around with Edwards. David Creaser tackling well there with Gary Schofield. Betts is well spotted and well watched. Lucas. Forward pass given there by Robin Whitfield. Kick, that's for Bentley to chase. And Schofield himself. That's not a try, that's touched down by Joe Lydon. It'll be a drop out under his own post. They'll only Gary Schofield and John Bentley chase that kick. And Gary Schofield. And that certainly got a try at Wigan. Central Park when Leeds won 19-0. Phil Ford scoring a try after a kick from Gary Schofield. Dixon brings the ball back, and Leeds would love to put something on the board just before half-time. Into the last minute or so now. Cavalier put through a gap. Just throws that ball anywhere, and it's picked up there by Philip Clark. And Leeds certainly squandering possession this afternoon on a number of occasions. They've put that ball down early in the tackle count. Unnecessary pass. And David Watkins, I can hear from scrum down, just saying that Leeds have given that ball away again on the second tackle. Dermot trying to get through Hanley, but no way through Ellery Hanley. Lucas. Blyden kicks and Edwards finds Bentley. Bentley running across field. He'll have the legs on Andy Platt. And he's up this touchline side now. The 3 Wigan players finally bringing him down. A good run there from Bentley. Gibson now coming in field, straightening up. Schofield has got room now and he's put Marvin Edwards away. Back inside to Schofield, in support as ever. Takes a tackle on halfway, got his Schofield. Golding finds her and David in. Switching play. Hanley. Stormway through a gap, he's got Bobby Golding, he's got Hanley with him. Has Hanley got the legs on Joe Lydon? Coming up there for Anno Batikur and tackling Ellery Hanley and the Hooter going. I think that's going to be a penalty to Leeds. Some punched on in the tackle by Sean Edwards on Ellery Hanley. So what a drama we've got here then as the first half. Hooter has already gone. The Leeds will try everything now. They can to put some points on the board. It's gone down. Hooter goes again and Wigan leading by 14 points to 0 and really home and dry as far as this game are concerned. It's been a tremendous first half display from the men from Central Park. And in fact they opened the scoring as early as the 7th minute with a penalty for Batikur in. Leeds were caught offside and on 15 minutes Batikur had his second penalty when Schofield was adjudged to have interfered at the play of the ball, and then on another 6 minutes Batikur had a penalty on 19 minutes and that was 6-0, and then Myers had a try in the corner to make it 10 points to 0. No goal from Batikur this time. And 35 minutes Clark had a try after great work from Andy Platt. That was on 35 minutes, and despite Leeds' pressure, that's how it stands here at half-time. Leeds 0, Wigan 14. Well, on Wednesday evening, our cameras were at Odsal for Bradford Northern versus Featherstone, a game that both sides had to win.
Adverse weather conditions on Wednesday evening caused some doubt as to whether the game should be played, but despite heavy going, in the Odsal quagmire, Bradford contained Featherstone in their own half for over 80% of the game. Featherstone's Gary Rose dropped the ball in a tackle that was to become a feature of Rovers' play throughout this game. Only 5 yards out, the ball's on to Medley, and he runs in at the corner through feeble tackling. 4-0, and only 5 minutes of the game gone. Fifth tackle, and Hobbs put up a bomb. With some 21 players in the in goal area, the referee gives a dropout after Featherstone ground the ball. In the next set of 6, Bradford, unafraid of spinning the ball out, pass it out onto Caudle, showing some nifty footwork in the poor conditions. Noble attacked in half-back. On to Hobbs. Hobbs shows the dummy and takes on 2 defenders. Passes out to Marchant, on to Shelford for him to score his first in the corner. A missed conversion, and the score's now 8-0. A rare incursion into Bradford's half, and Fairbanks manages to ship the ball out for a 3-man tackle and onto Summers for a 50-yard break. He beats Fox and is only brought down by Newlove covering back. Good ball play between Simpson, Hobbs, Medley and out to Shelford for a second try in the corner after 20 minutes. 12-0 to Bradford Northern. Second half brought no let-up in the weather. All up for Rovers, who are still under pressure and trying to run the ball out of their own 22. Ball being brought back inside and a long ball out to Andy Fisher. But a tackle by Roger Simpson on the second row man forces him to lose the ball. And Emerson Gill dribbled the ball off the line, only for Marchant to score in the corner. Try was awarded after a brief word with the touch judge. And it definitely wasn't tonight for the goal kickers, but Bradford still leads 16 points to 0. A grubber kick through by Hobbs saw Caudle score in the corner, but only to be given offside by the referee, to the dismay of Northern fans. Something Rovers fans haven't seen in this game, a rare penetrating attack down the middle. A kick over defence by Fox. Manning's chased to the line, but he fails to touch down. From the dropout, Featherstone managed to keep up this pressure. And the runaround between Fox and Rose put them into a good attacking position, despite the slight forward pass. The ball is spun along the line out onto Fisher, who stands in his tackle and unloads the ball to Manning, who goes over for Rovers' only score. Now 16 points to 4. Bradford persist with their attack, putting a chip over the defence. Another dubious decision by the referee and a tap on the 22 for Featherstone. Rovers forward Leo Casey loses the ball in the first tackle and helps to set up Bradford Northern for the final try. Good running there by Hobbs, and it's all set up now for Marchant.
Yes!
As he throws the dummy and scoots through to score 5 yards in from the sticks. Despite Hobbs' only conversion that evening, Bradford run out 22 points to 4. But it's still going to be a long, hard battle within the relegation zone.
So we're going to get the second half underway. Andy Gregory kicking off, Leeds trailing by 14 points to 0, and Paul Dixon brings that ball away from his own line. Leeds have a substitute on. Paul Anderson is on for Cavalier. Goldie, Schofield switches play, tries to duck under Andy Gregory's tackle. Sean Wayne just hanging on to that ball. Hidden now. Finds Paul Anderson. Anderson trampling straight over Sean Edwards. Hanley. He leads up to the 6th tackle, still pen round that 25-metre area. 22-metre area, sorry. It's back and Golden will put the kick in. And Lydon letting that ball bounce and picking it up inside the 22 and bringing it away now, and Anderson's up quickly. Drags him down. Dean Bell goes from Acton off into Sean Wayne. Big friends Sean Wayne and Dean Bell. Edwards looking. Golden. The lead certainly fired up for this second half. It's a penalty to Leeds. Edwards there. Putting his foot out, not very happy there in the tackle. The first half penalties were tied at 5-all, and the scrums Wigan took by 6-3, so Leeds have a chance now to put some pressure on Wigan. Bentley running in 10 metres now from that line. Leeds pressing strongly. Sean Wayne running around with Golding. Golding stepping, switching, trying to switch play, but no way through there for Bobby Golding. Schofield. A long ball out to David Creasy. Anderson. Certainly takes some holding, does the Leeds youngster Paul Anderson. Holding now, Schofield looking for the runner down, goes himself, Schofield. But only as far as Andy Gregory. Good tackle there from the little man. Holding. A long ball out to Innes. Innes has used Bentley as a foil. Wide intercepting and coming away, but good tackle there. Coming across. David Irren. Myers. Leeds back in possession, capitalising on a Wigan mistake there. Anderson again. Irren. No way through again for David Irren. This Wigan tackling is tremendous. And Leeds hoping to move the ball out wide in his second half. Schofield stepping out of tackles, going himself. 5 metres from the line. Leeds pressing strongly now, trying to go and certainly set this game alight. Hanley. Creasy. Knock on there. So that chance coming to nothing from Leeds, but that's better, more enterprising stuff from Leeds at the beginning of this second half. Andy Gregory about to feed the scrum when the referee tells him that the packs are correctly down. And that's out to Wigan and Lydon on the line. And running straight at his opposite number, Marvin Edwards. Miles. Played in the forwards towards the back half of his career with Brisbane Broncos, but switched back to his favourite centre role with devastating effect here at Wigan, and hopefully have another season at Wigan. Wigan hopeful of having both him and John Mooney on board for next season. Gregory, a lovely ball there to Philip Clark. McGinty. Move up to the last tackle, the wingers dropping back. And Lydon's back for the kick. Bentley. It's his stall up now, coming on the outside of Myers. Faganus. Schofield. Golding. They're in now, Leeds moving that ball around. Dixon. Leeds trying to bring the ball away from the 22 and use the kick of Goulding or Schofield in a minute. Edwards knocking on there. He's trying to move out the long ball and Edwards not able to take that one, so that's put Leeds under pressure now as Andy Gregory working the scrum. Edwards looks for Bell. Blyden, Miles running around there, that's great play. Botica cutting inside, away from the touchline side, and Innes and Gibson getting over there and tackling him, bringing him down. Miles again. Running full tilt at the Leeds defence, we're up to the fourth tackle and Wigan 10 metres or so from that Leeds line. Edwards and Gregory now, their favourite run around. Gregory goes himself, misses Bobby Goulding's tackle, flying tackle. That referee says that's only the fourth. Gregory again. Andy Platt looking for the run round with Gregory. To the last tackle now. Edwards. Wigan have got men to spare on this side and it's out to McGinty. A little bit of turnover, that's the first turnover of the game. Well, the first turnover of the game without a kick. David Creasy spots the gap from acting half. Schofield's got Edwards with him, gives that ball to Edwards. Away there, Marvin Edwards. And finally falling in the tackle, Bentley outside him, couldn't get the ball away. And the red and his Peck's holding down. Schofield's kick finds touch. Sean Wayne. Goulding. Anderson. And Lucas just making sure that Anderson's down. Schofield now. Hanley stepping out of tackles. Still going Hillary Hanley. What a great strong runner he is. Maskill. Hanley will go from acting half, showing that ball. Rolling, fill the gap. Dixon. Rolling again, and this time Dennis Betts sees him. Up to the last tackle. Schofield now, can he work the Oracle? Lovely ball out to Bentley. Bentley still going. The ball given away there, but that was a sixth tackle anyway. Miles plays it quickly. Great tackle there from David Aaron. And Miles has pushed everybody about 5 yards there in that. And you can only foul an all full once, and Robin Whitfield certainly no all full. Fell for it the first time, but didn't fall for it twice. And certainly no one was interfering him. He made 10 yards when he pushed David Aaron off. Schofield's kick finds touch. The Leeds certainly had the wealth of possession in this second half. Bentley again trying to find a way through. Sean Wayne looking for the run round with Golding. Golding dodging, weaving, going himself. He's lost the ball. Andy Platt's in possession and Maskell brings him down. Pastor Lucas looks suspiciously forward, but Whitfield in a good position to see that. Edwards, Betts. Andy Gregory now across that line. Up to the last tackle. Lydon's back for the kick. It's Edwards who'll put that ball. Finds that ball, puts it in the touch. Just outside the Leeds 22. Two tries, 3 goals, Wigan 14, Leeds 0. Scrabble form just outside the Leeds 22. Playing 12 minutes of this second half. We have an injury, I can't see who Leeds are attending to, it's Colin Maskell. This injury taking some time as Leeds wait to lead the scrum. That ball out to Bobby Golding, Schofield will bring Gibson on a run. But Lydon up in the line and Edwards just snuffing him out. Dixon now. Anderson. Schofield now. Using Hanley as a foil, Creasy. Clamped up man and ball. Great tackling again from Wigan. Schofield kicks. This time it's deep down for Joe Lydon. Edwards, Bottiker infield, looking for work, trying to help out his forwards. Edwards, Bell, goes himself, Bell, puts the pedal down into overdrive. And that's a kick, and that'll be a try to Sean Edwards, because Sean Edwards never misses those. He's always there, he always catches the ball, and he always scores. And you can watch that on videos and TV telecasts of rugby league games for the last 2 or 3 years, and every time somebody kicks from the wing, Sean Edwards is there, he always catches the ball and he always scores, and that's an ultimate true professional that Sean Edwards is. Must be the most professional player in the rugby league. Works hard on and off the field, and he's put Leeds into an unassailable lead now. 15 minutes gone then, and Wigan will be 20 points up when Bottiger kicks this goal. And that all came from nothing, a run in his own half by Dean Bell, put the kick away. Sean Edwards always there, always in the middle of the field, always catches the ball and always scores. You get to see him fail in those situations. And Bobby Golding takes the kick off for Leeds. And Dean Bell charging back up. He's had a tremendous game this afternoon, Dean Bell. Platt met there by Hanley. for 20 points to nil. That's exactly one more point than Leeds scored at Central Park in November. Andy Platt stopping that ball there in the tackle. The referee says that Leeds player had nothing to do with that coming out of the hands. Fifth scrum. And Bentley now coming in field, Gibson. Ball knocked out of Gibson's hand with the force of the tackle, and here come Wigan, here comes Dennis Betts. And Dixon bringing him down. Edwards. Switching play again, Bell. Innes. From New Zealand to another there, just bringing him down. Again using the short side, Philip Clark again. And that's pressure there put by Bobby Goulding on Andy Gregory first, that slipshod pass, and Billy McGinty it was who had to pounce on the loose ball despite the attentions of David Creasy. And Motica pushed in a touch there by Schofield, Gibson and Creasy. Picks that ball up for Leeds, and Philip Clark's adjudged to be offside. So 9 penalties now against Wigan, and only 5 against Leeds. Wigan have got those 20 points on the board. Livordi will take the tap. Goldie, Schofield. Lovely long ball out to Edwards there. Innes, in a bit of space, Innes. Bentley now following up, that's good play from Leeds. Going inside. Great run there from Craig Innes, been impressed with him again this afternoon. Hidden now. Bobby Goulding. It's a long ball out to David Creasy, he's got Edwards outside him. It's going to be a try to Leeds, is it? Well, it looked easier to score than not to score them, but somehow Leeds not managing to get over the line. Wigan getting back across in numbers. Wayne, Schofield. There must be something here for Leeds. Schofield trying to go. A knock on there. Judged by Craig Innes. So Leeds ought to have had a try there to Edwards in the corner. So head and ball, it'll be to Wigan. Myers in field, and Schofield, great tackle, bringing him down. Dean Bell. And David having none of the juddering sidestep of Dean Bell. Dermot. Miles. It's going to be a penalty to Wigan. The first of this second half. Stiff arm there. It's Mr. Whitfield ruling that Gary Devoto used the arm. Forearm in the tackle. So Lydon will kick and put Wigan in the Leeds half of the field. 8 metres or so inside that Leeds half. Gregory brings Andy Platt on. Platt busting through. Leverton having to come back and get him second time. Lucas. Lydon. And 6 more tackles there, says Whitfield, as Bobby Goulding jumped up and knocked that ball. Betts puts the ball down in the run around, just took his eye off the ball for a second. And Leeds back in possession, but deep in their own 22. And Dixon. Golding, Schofield. Anderson. Lovely ball out the tackle there. Innes now in space again. Inside ball to Bentley, but the cover coming across there. And it's the boy self. Evan. So the fans not happy with that tackle on David Eddon, but Whitfield says it's alright. Schofield pops the kick in. Dermot there, way up to halfway. Edwards now. Here's McGinty in. McGinty, no way throw down the middle. Guinness takes that high ball and the Wigan tacklers in one motion. Schofield. All out from Sean Wayne through the front windscreen as Lucas trying to bring that back. Myers goes himself. 15 metres now from the Leeds line. Sean Wayne wrestling him to the ground. Dermot, Edwards spots the gap, quickly closing up there. I got a devotee. McGinty. The Leeds cover just coming across there and wrapping McGinty up. Wiggity. Wigan bringing it the other way now with Miles. Miles will show that ball. Myers, Bentley has him. The pass is to Schofield and Schofield will bring the ball away. Bentley. Hidden. Inside ball to crease and Betts not falling for that. Read that superbly there, Dennis Betts. Goulding. Long ball out to Marvin Edwards. And Edwards is well bottled up there by Myers. Leeds passing, Leeds long passes. Being well read by Wigan. And Myers there really ought to walk for that. There's a swinging arm there at Bobby Goulding's head. Penalty to Leeds, nothing more. Pulling the ball out. Schofield finds touch. Just in the Wigan half of the field, and Devotee will take a quick tap and bring John Bentley in. In fact, he's missed John Bentley out. Anderson. The high tackle. And this game's going to boil over if Robin Whitfield doesn't get a grip of these head-high tackles that are coming in. Sean Edwards a guilty party that time, and Anderson brought to the floor, and 1 or 2 players taking exception. Mr. Whitfield needs to get a grip of this. An ill feeling between the two sides. And Dean Bell having something to say to the referee, but it's absolutely nothing to do with him. And Wigan bringing a substitute on. With Sam Panapa for David Myers. "27 minutes gone then." And the 10th Leeds penalty, Sean Wayne. And Wigan certainly working hard to nil Leeds. That's what they want to do. That's what happened to them at Central Park earlier on in the season, and that's what they'd love to do this afternoon. Anderson now. Schofield running down there with Golding. Losing the ball in the tackle of Andy Platt. Penalty against Golding for something I couldn't quite see what's happened there in the tackle. And the referee saying where we Golding this game degenerating a bit in the last few minutes. On one side of the penalised Dean Bell. Oh, showing the dummy there, it's Craig in his part beautifully. Is he going to go all the way, Dean Bell? Well, Dean Bell, that must be the try of the season. What a superb try from Dean Bell there. Leeds absolutely nowhere in sight. Took the tap himself. Ran 85 yards, and no wonder Andy Gregory's waving to the south stand. Because that one must be the try of the season. What a superb try to score, and what a disastrous try to concede. Superb try there to Dean Bell. Just took the tap in his own 25 and ran the length of the field without a finger being laid on him. Showed the dummy, which Craig in his spot. A great try there from Dean Bell. Against substitution number 11. And his specs coming off from Neil Cowie coming on. Golding. Botica now bringing that ball back up towards the Leeds defence. Crossing there. It's as good a case of crossing as you're likely to see, and the referee's let it go. Phil Clark's bumping men off, and Wigan fired up now and really playing with some confidence in Leeds defence in tatters and shreds. Well, Gregory, Leeds have got to get a grip of this game, otherwise it will rapidly turn into a disaster for them if it isn't already at 24 points to nil. Lovely ball out of the tackle there from Andy Platt. Gregory tries a drop goal. It's gone wide. Hanley. One man who's Leeds player who's never stopped trying all afternoon. He's had the full attention of the Wigan pack. Dixon. Schofield trying the chip over. It's back in possession in 6 more tackles. Andy Plant didn't get that. Aaron Innes now. The tackle in a touch. Marvin Edwards. Andy Gregory about to feed the ball, for which if he wins it will be the 10th Wigan scrum. Penalties 10-7 going to Leeds and 10-5 the scrums in favour of Wigan. Sam Panapa. And with the cleanest jersey on the field, he's just come on, Sam Panapa, for knock on. Bachika, the guilty party. Well, Leeds will have a scrum with head and ball. Just 8 metres or so from there. Wigan 22. Golden. Trying to push off Philip Clark. Hanley goes himself from acting half. Schofield, Anderson. For he says that was knocked on by Paul Anderson. Referee not happy with that scrum. Panapa. Cowie. Enough. For quite some time, so I should have a relatively fresh pair of legs. Andy Platt. Okay, again he's in the middle of the field. That's his 3rd tackle in this set of 6. Gregory. It's out to Panapa. And Panapa sets Bell free again. A forward pass. And Gregory certainly coming across there to get a grip of John Bentley. Schofield. Aaron. Almost through the gap. Panapa just snatching at his ankles. Anderson. A long ball there out to Paul Dixon. Gregory's flying leap comes to nothing. Dixon just gets up the field. He's stamping out down the middle of the field now. He's got Hanley with him. Hanley trying to make the ball available. Nobody in support. Penalty there. $20,821 people here this afternoon have witnessed a fine exhibition of football by Wigan. Innes now for Leeds. Just trying to put some points on the board before they end this one. Aaron goes himself. And another penalty there. Penalty takes the tap. have been well policed this afternoon, Larry Hanley. 3 men on him every time he's had that ball. Schofield. Dixon. And that's out to Creaser now. What can Leeds do? Can he put some points on the board? Edwards. Near that line. Is he going to score? He certainly won't be allowed to. Hanley near the line. Is he going to score? He won't be allowed to, no. Been pushed back by Wigan. Golding tries a chip over. Not penalised. Philip Clark brings the ball away and another Leeds attack comes to nothing. Philip Clark. And I'll never understand why Wigan can go to such places as Wakefield and manage to get beat, and yet come to Leeds every year and put on a superb attacking display of football. They won the championship here last April, and this could be the 2 points that brings it to them again this season. Edwards. Creaser now. It's Carl Gibson. Castleford, who played so well yesterday afternoon. Here to get to Wembley. Lee Crooks here this afternoon. He must be very impressed with the Wigan display. He'll be hoping that Bradford Northern can put one over on John Money's men in a fortnight's time in that second semi-final. So I'm sure nobody would want to face this kind of Wigan side playing this sort of football. Edwards again in the line and again wrapped up. Golding kicks over the top. And that ball just bobbling for Joe Lydon. Panapa. Andy Platt now will take the pass from Acting half and makes 5 or 6 yards as he's done all afternoon. Solid work on Andy Platt. Lucas now on the burst. Edwards now put through the gap, lovely there. Golding wrapping him up. Gregory running with the ball and Leeds letting him run, dangerous. Six tackle, a little bit of turnover. Well, 40 minutes up on the clock and Craig Innes wins his first man of the match award for Leeds. He's certainly been one Leeds player who's looked likely to go forward with the ball. And Leeds have a difficult couple of matches now. They'll be at the Boulevard next week to take on Hull in the Stonesbridge Championship, and then a week after they're back at Headingley. To face Wakefield Trinity, and that'll certainly not be easy. Wakefield will be dying to put one over on Leeds. And Wigan, well, they've got a game next week and then a semi-final against Bradford at Burnden Park, Bolton. Schofield. It's out to Innes again. And Innes pumps men off. And he's got Edwards with him again, and Edwards is going down the touchline side. Still going more in Edwards. Into the 22. And there goes a hooter, so Leeds nilled at Headingley by Wigan. 24 points to 0. And it's been a tremendous display from the men from Central Park, and one which I'm sure will take the championship back to Central Park for the 4th time. A tremendous display of football, relentless tackling and superb opportunities, and took the chances every time they had them. A highlight being the superb 75-80 yard try from Dean Bell, straight from attack penalty. shoved the dummy, and then beat the cover and went over in the corner. So I'll run through the scorers for you. For Wigan, Bottiker had a penalty in 7 minutes, and Schofield was adjudged to have interfered to play the ball. And then Bottiker another penalty on 15 minutes, which earned Schofield a spell in the sin bin. Bottiker had his third penalty on 19 minutes, 6 points to nil, no tries in sight. And then Myers had a try after good work by Miles. It was 25 minutes, it was 10 points to nil. No goal from Bottiker, nor could he convert. Clark's try after 35 minutes, it sent Wigan in with a 14 points to nil lead. But then Edwards had a try after great work from Dean Bell, who kicked over. And as I said at the time, Edwards is always there for those kicks across field. He never drops the ball, and he never fails to score. He is the ultimate rugby league professional, Shaun Edwards. And then Bell had that superb try, too far out for the conversion. And that's how it stood. No matter how Leeds tried, they couldn't break through that relentless Wigan pressure. The defence was superb. The attacking flair there for all to see. So I'll leave you then from Headingley with the news that Leeds have been defeated by Wigan. The score: Leeds 0, Wigan 24.